Hello, my friends. How are you? Hope you guys are enjoying your life. And it's been a little bit time for me to make one more video. So I was not having the proper topic, to be very frank, because when I get some topic and I feel about that topic, that is the time I go and research and bring it out for you guys. So today, I was thinking, I'm so glad you guys are here today. I want to talk to you about something that lies within every single one of us. The gap between who you are, who you are, who we are, and who we know we could be. There is a gap. The gap between who we are and who we know we could be. It's a very tricky subject. When we wake up each morning, we often only see a snapshot of who we are, our habits, our routines, maybe some limitations, but deep down we feel a tug, a vision of the person we know we could be. Every morning it happens to me also. I stood in that gap a few years ago. I was in a job, I did not love it, and every day I wondered, is this it? Is this it? Is this all there is? But let me tell you, the gap was not a wall. It was a bridge waiting to be built step by step. The gap was not a wall. It was not a wall. It was a bridge waiting to be built step by step. I named it. I wrote it. I wrote down exactly where I was without excuses. Then I created, you can say, a vivid vision of the life I wanted. And every day I took a small step, tiny, purposeful actions, no matter how small. I walked into that, you can say, towards that target as a tortoise kind of steps. A very small step. You might not see the change overnight, but trust me, those small steps compound. And every time you act, you close that gap a little more. I'll tell you, I remember a friend of me. He dreamed of starting a business, but he kept saying, not yet. Years passed and the gap grew wide. But one day he took a step, and today he runs a thriving retail outlet of electronics, accessories, and those kind of things. He would tell you the gap never disappears. He would tell you that the gap never disappears, but with each step it gets smaller. Hope you guys understand what I want to say. He would tell you the gap never disappears, it remains the same, but with each step it gets smaller. Think about it, every single one of us has that inner potential. We know that we are capable of, we feel it when we dream, when we see others living boldly, when we think back to a time when we are unafraid. But somewhere along the way, we get comfortable, we settle, and that is when the gap begins to grow. According to me, it is very simple. The gap begins to grow when when you become comfortable, you feel that we settle, and that is when the gap begins to grow. I remember a friend of mine, he always tells me that I have got a passion of doing this, that. I listen to him. Every time I sit with him, I listen to him. But after few years, he stopped that. Nowadays, he's not telling me about any dreams, any vision, anything. He's at the age of 55. So one day I asked him, what made you now to settle down the what you have now? You are not like that. You had a passion in you. Then as you said is very clear is the gap had grown very that gap had grown in a very big way. Now he cannot even think to take a smaller step. So I sat with him, and that was a 1 hour with him, and I felt that let me transform his life. Let him take a small step because of me. I don't know the time was favorable to me or not. After 1 week, he took a small step, very small step, but that gave the confidence to him. So let's talk about how. First, you have to name it. You have to be brutally honest about where you are right now. Write it down. Say it out. Say it loud. Then you need a vision, an exact image of who you want to be. Make it a vivid kind of. And then third, you take a micro actions every single day. Do one small thing that aligns with your future. Aligns with your future self. And over time, the gap begins to shrink. I know this is not easy. I know this is not an easy. I know that this is not an easy. I know there are days when you feel like giving up. But remember this, you are not defined by the gap. You are defined by the courage to close it. One step at a time. A micro step. I'm telling you, don't take a very big step. Micro step. So I challenge you, what one step you can take today? What's one step you can take today? What's one small action that moves you closer to that person you know you could be? And when you take that step, remember I believe in you, and the world is waiting for you to cross that gap. The world is waiting for you to cross that gap. So I ask you now, what is the one small step you will take today, and what dream will you dare to pursue? I believe in you, and the world is waiting for you to cross that gap. So thank you so much for being here. If this resonated, please share it, and let's close that gap together. Thank you. Bye bye. See you. Take care.